Annabelle Comes Home from 2019 got a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. But what do I think about it? What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be reviewing Annabelle Comes Home from 2019. The Conjuring Last Rites comes out this Friday, so we're going to be going through the whole entire universe in the order of the timeline and doing some reviews, and then after that doing some tier lists and rankings as well. Here's the timeline of the Conjuring Universe if you are interested or want to see these movies in order for yourselves. And we've already reviewed the first 5 movies in this universe if you want to go check those out as well. So without further ado, let's get into the 6th movie in this timeline, Annabelle Comes Home. It's directed by Gary Doberman. It stars McKenna Grace, Madison Isman, Katie Sarif, with Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as well. When the Warrens bring Annabelle back to their artifact room, the demonic doll awakens other cursed objects and spirits targeting their daughter Judy and her babysitters during one terrifying night. This film feels like a haunted house attraction. It is very fun, and there's a lot of, monsters that we get to see. Like, it's not just Annabelle, like it's everything that she awakens. So that ends up being super fun, and it's less serious and more like a teen slasher times supernatural Annabelle crossover. I mean, it's a ton of fun. My favorite thing about the vibe itself is, on my first watch, I wasn't actually a big fan of this movie when I first did watch it. But upon rewatch, this has shot up to, I really enjoy this movie, and that is because of the vibe. It takes place in October. As you know, I love movies that capture that October Halloween vibe so well. And this movie really does that. You see pumpkins and Halloween decorations at the store and things like that. And also it's super fun because of the 70s period piece that it is within the supernatural elements as well. So it really just has such a fun vibe that this makes for one of those movies you can turn on with your friends or whatever and just have a chill, fun time. McKenna Grace stands out as Judy Warren. I mean, she absolutely kills it. And I'm not sure how old she was in this, but I mean, performing like that at such a young age is just pretty impressive. And the babysitters do a pretty good job as well. Like, they really just have to show that they're terrified. So I don't know how hard that would be to do, but I mean, they killed it as well. And then of course we have Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga coming back in here, and they do feel more like cameos instead of actual roles because they're not in it for long. This film's not really about them, but it's very fun. And since it's not about them, it is more about Judy. I also think that makes it even more interesting than if they were main characters in this movie as well. It's packed with jump scares and creative set pieces and more creative visual imagery that is just super cool. And also, as you guys know, I love, packed with lore. Tons of lore in this stuff. Just looking back at like their older cases and things like that and the different haunted artifacts that we get to learn about within this movie is super dope. The scares, I would say, are less terrifying and more fun. That's why the theme for this movie is fun. This is a fun time at the least. So it's not the scariest in the franchise, but it's one of the more entertaining ones. And I'd say this is the most PG, the most fun, like a family movie. If there is one in the Conjuring franchise, it definitely is this one right here. So from here on out, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen this banger yet, please go check it out. It's awesome. So you've been warned. Now, just to run back through some of the story, I think it's super cool, the lore here, like I said earlier, with not only the artifacts being explored, but we also have that beginning lore where it shows where we learned about the Conjuring. In the beginning of the Conjuring movie, we saw Annabelle be taken by Ed and Lorraine Warren, but that's all we're shown. We don't show the drive home. We don't show what happens after in their lives. And so this takes place just a year later after they do take that Annabelle doll home, and probably under a year from when they last dealt with the Conjuring, the events of the Conjuring movie. This is like less than a year later on the timeline. So it's super cool to see that happen because they bring Annabelle home, and then less than a year later, the friends come over and we have incidents happen, and to which, well, this is a spoiler review, so I can say what happens. The babysitter is being an idiot and lets Annabelle out of the cage, and it's just super interesting how all that lore connects. I also really like the drive home with Patrick Wilson and with Ed and Lorraine. The drive home is super creepy when he stops to fix his car and all those spirits are everywhere. And that's where we kind of learn how Annabelle works. Annabelle doesn't square up and hit you. Nah, she invites her goons out to get you. She lets the demons out, and then she tries to cook you. And she's pretty good at it, pretty terrifying as well. But I did say the babysitter was stupid, but she's not. It's kind of the way that the plot allows for her to be understood, because, you know, she's trying to grieve with her dad's loss and things like that. And she's just trying to figure out, you know, what is going on in her life. And she's just like confused, sad, and just looking for an answer. And that's why she ends up letting Annabelle out of her cage on accident. So it's like we feel for her and understand, you know, at least what she's going through that has led her to this point to open up that cage. I mean, I also just thought we had some cool plot points with us connecting with Judy and seeing how it is for her to live with Ed and Lorraine as her parents, how she gets bullied at school, and then at the end they actually come around and end up being nice and friends. And, you know, it's kind of some commentary in there about, you know, forgiveness and things like that. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have also some commentary about dealing with grief and things, but we'll talk about that later. And then we also have the love interest with the nerdy guy, they call him Balls, from across the street, that is flirting with the babysitter, and that's a pretty fun story as well. Also, I do think that the black-haired babysitter is kind of an elf friend at the beginning, when we have her blackmailing her about telling her crush if she doesn't let her come stay at her with the house. Like, bro, get out of here with all that. Like, what you being an elf friend for? What's that all about? But hey. Now, if we're going with themes, you know, like I said, forgiveness, we have dealing with grief, which is really a central theme, showing how the girl who initially let Annabelle out of the cage is able to then fight to escape, and fight to, you know, conceal the terror that she has unleashed. And within that, it's kind of showing her fighting the grief that she's dealing with as well. That's kind of playing the role of grief. Like, the terror that Annabelle unleashed is kind of the grief that she's fighting off. So, I mean, that's pretty cool commentary and themes. The first time when we have something different than good versus evil here in the Conjuring franchise. I think, honestly, my favorite moment is just how insane this is, honestly. When Judy is sleeping and the babysitter comes in to check on her, and then she sees Annabelle sleeping next to Judy. Like, that's just so terrifying. Imagine, like, just being asleep and whole time Annabelle's just snuggled up next to you. Just Annabelle's big spooning you, bruh, the whole night. Like, that's just terrifying. And then for Judy, at that point, she didn't understand. She didn't know what that was. But, I mean, for the babysitter, she didn't know what that was, what was going on. She thought it was a little strange. But for Judy, man, that would be so terrifying figuring that out. And then also with that little light thing that she had in her room when that fell on the ground and that was flickering the lights and showing Annabelle through these different colors. That scene was super interesting and very fun. So, yeah, that was awesome. And also another, like, favorite, like, feature about this movie is just how the lore of the things that are the artifacts in the room, each of them tell their own story, and we kind of get a glimpse into, like, each story a little bit, and see that demon or that character come to life within the house. And it just makes it even more terrifying and more interesting, because it's not just Annabelle we get to see in these other cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren had defeated in their past and put that artifact in their room. We get to kind of see a glimpse into that story, because as we know, we're not going to be able to get a movie on each single one of those. I think that would be awesome if we could get a movie on each single one of the cases that they had beat or fought. But just getting a little glimpse is super cool as well, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, my least favorite moment is just how the black-haired girl at the beginning was just kind of an elf friend. It just kind of, it felt stupid. It felt like, come on, how are you going to give in to this lady just being rude? Like, I don't know. It's really a small thing. I mean, it was just like kind of a plot setup. So, I mean, if I have to pick another thing, it would be kind of the design of the bull that was chasing around Balls later in the movie. Kind of wasn't scary. It was kind of goofy, but it wasn't ruined. I still do think it was. It does have a terrifying edge to it, but it's just a little goofy. Just a little goofy, I can't lie. How does this hold up today? This holds up pretty well. I think this is up there with as far as the Conjuring franchise goes. I think, as you guys know, I love the Annabelle movies, all three of them. So I think this is definitely up there with those as well. A lot of people have this as the best Annabelle movie. I mean, this is one of the higher ranked in the franchise, so it's definitely loved. And within horror, I think it holds up pretty good in overall. Like, because this is more like a PG. This is definitely rewatchable. This is a rewatchable movie if there is one in the Conjuring franchise, because this is a fun one. You can put this on at like a movie night, you know, like a Halloween night type of vibe. It'd be super fun. So this movie holds up great. Overall, I adore this movie. Once again, I love all 3 Annabelle movies, and I give it 4 out of 5 pickles, and I would definitely put my pickle in it. I would have to specify that this is like a 4.2. It's close to a 4.5. I really do enjoy this movie. Like the 3 Annabelle movies, I go back and forth because originally I didn't like this movie until my recent rewatch, and I have like a newfound love for it. I might have to watch it again. Get some second opinions on it maybe. I think it'd be so fun to watch this with somebody, like watching this with your family. Like, it really does feel like that type of PG movie, but I have such a fun time with this now, and it's either tied or my favorite. Right now, what I'm thinking is it's my favorite Annabelle movie, but could be tied, could be second. You guys will figure out in the ranking. It'll be tough when I actually have to rank these, but I love this movie, guys. Let me know what you think about this movie down in the comments below. Do you love it as much as I do? I think it's great. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or you will wake up and Annabelle will be sleeping right next to you. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace!